Hello, welcome to Wildcat Insider, your source for stories from grades 7, 8, and 9.
We begin our show with a shout out to the October Wildcat Rise winners.
The Rise Award program is for 7th and 8th graders who are nominated by a teacher who notices they are showing one of the Rise qualities. In 7th grade, the winners were Tyler Fazekas, Krista Plows, Cooper Campbell, Darren Cope, and Emily Chesla. The 8th grade winners were Justin Taylor, Adina Prue, Ben Helfrich, Vinny Amatucci, and Tyler Bowers. Students are reminded to keep exhibiting respect, integrity, service, and excellence.
In an effort to spread some cheer, students in the junior high were asked to create postcards to send to patients at Children's Hospital. Here's Ethan Mazurek with the story.
The Student Assistance Program is a program designed to assist in identifying issues including alcohol, tobacco, other drugs, and mental health issues which pose a barrier to a student's success. The SAP team at the junior high has been implementing various activities to help students start the day on the right foot. Recently, they have come up with the idea to send a postcard to a child in Children's Hospital for Thanksgiving. I asked Ms. O'Donnell what she hopes students gain from this experience, and if she plans on doing this again in the future.
Well, I think it's important that students understand that the SAP program, which stands for Student Assistance Program, is here for students that struggle in and out of school in such a way that it probably affects their academics. So we try to bring positivity to all of the students of the school to try to start their day off on a positive note. We're doing that with the SAP quote of the day, which led into a Wildcat Wednesday challenge. And the Wildcat Wednesday challenge is a random act of kindness, very simple, and it tries to encourage our students to care about each other and have compassion and to care about the school community, also the community in which they live. And so the random act of kindness, I think it was last week, it may have been the week before, was to create a postcard that was encouraging or happy or funny for a child that's in Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh, and we are going to send those postcards so that the kids get those on Thanksgiving. I have reached out to the teachers actually recently in an email, and I've asked them to send along any random act of kindness ideas that they have. Simple. We got to keep it pretty simple since we deal with so many kids in the school. And I have gotten a lot of really good ideas. Mrs. Mangus has sent me a few from a book that the students read called Stargirl, which is kind of really cool that we can tie in the curriculum to random acts of kindness in our building.
I then asked students what they thought of the postcards.
I like the idea of postcards being sent to children because it makes them happy over Thanksgiving break.
Yes, I like it because the kids will get better from the sickness over Thanksgiving.
We think the cards to Children's Hospital are good because
It helps kids that are sick.
And it motivates them.
I think they're nice because it gives them motivation to do stuff that they've never been able to do.
As evident in the Wildcat Rise winners and in the programs sponsored by the SAP team, there are many ways for students to help make our world a better place. Samantha Elliott and Malachi Boone had a chance to talk to students and staff about ways that you can get involved.
How can you make the world a better place at Latrobe?
One way to make the world better here at Latrobe, when you get into 9th grade, you can join either Key Club or Interact Club, or both of them, because they are great community service organizations that do a world of good for veterans, for local folks, for hospitalized children, just a whole amount of different things that they raise funds for and bring awareness to. Students can help to make the world a better place, starting in their own community. You join one of these clubs, you can find out how to make your community a better place and ultimately the world a better place.
We make the world a better place
By recycling.
What's poppin', the authors? We make the world a better place by sharing
And caring.
Cause that's what it's all about, boy.
we make the world a better place by being in it.
I help make the world a better place by baking and selling cookies for Interact Club to support leukemia.
We volunteered at the Unity Township Days and handed out gift bags to little kids.
This fall we went to an old lady's house and raked leaves for our church.
I
volunteer for the Elks by doing a hoop shoot for the north side of Pittsburgh.
I work at a camp called Good Neighbors and repair homes for the church.
For my youth group, we went and raped an elderly lady's yard.
Another way that you can help our community is by participating in the food drive.
The 2017 Barrier Ball Food Drive will be taking place November 20th until December 8th. All benefits will go to the Ministerium, Blackburn Shelter, and Hunger Cafe. All collections from the first week will get your name entered into the lottery to play bubble football and get you a spin on the wheel at lunch. The second week gives you a ticket to get a chance at an amazing gift basket. If you bring in 10 items the last week, you will get a spot to play barrier ball on December 21st. Here are some of the items that you can bring in.
Earlier this month, students in the junior and senior high voted to add new paintings to our beautiful art collection. Here's more information about this year's selections.
Every year, students choose artwork for the junior high and senior high art collection. For the junior high, the winning artwork is titled Into the Realm of Autism by Gary Zach. We interviewed a couple of students to explain why they voted for this specific piece.
The reason why we chose the autism one is because it was very creative and beautiful.
It was very diverse in colors and had a variety of different stuff, and it was very creative.
I voted for the autism art because, well, I think it's pretty abstract. People look at it as a pretty painting, but I look at it as, hey, this person worked on it very hard, very well, and anytime somebody walks past, they're gonna look at it and say, hey, somebody painted this, and they're not different from any of us. They're the same. You're one of us. And don't feel like you're left out. Feel part of the world. You're not different.
The senior high had another selection of artwork. There's actually two chosen for this year, and they are Cheesecake by William De Bernardi and Streams of Living Water by Richard Hauer. We also asked senior high students why they picked these pieces.
I voted for the cheesecake painting because one, it looks delicious, and I thought it would go nicely in our collection because who doesn't love a big cheesecake in their hall? And I also thought that it might bring up good memories from the homecoming dance because there was a cheesecake stand.
There are many athletes around the school who dedicate a lot of time and effort to their sports. Students who play travel hockey have some unique experiences. Here's Logan Bird with the Inside Scoop.
As fall rolls around, hockey season is in full swing. Many kids travel to many different places. We asked some students about their season.
My favorite part of travel hockey is going through the cities with the boys and exploring all the cool places there.
Spending time with all the boys.
Going to all the different places.
Many of these teams travel outside of Pennsylvania to play to places such as Niagara Falls, Minnesota, and Canada.
I've traveled to many different cities and states, being Notre Dame, Boston, Chicago, Toronto, and Montreal.
Minnesota, Chicago, all over really.
I've been to Buffalo, Columbus, Ohio, and down Tennessee.
These tournaments last for 3 to 4 days and typically have 5 games. I asked some players about how many tournaments they are attending this season.
15.
I'm playing in 5 tournaments this year.
I'm going to play in about 5 tournaments this year.
All of these teams have practice almost daily, and it takes a lot of hard work and dedication to play travel hockey.
As the cooler weather sets in, it may be the perfect time to play some video games. Patrick Shimko and Christian Zappone take a look at some new releases.
Our favorite video game is 2K18.
Fortnite, number 1, baby.
Zoo Tycoon. A sequel to the popular Zoo Tycoon series goes over to Xbox. Choose from over 200 animals from across the world, interact with them, and create the zoo of your dreams. In this new installment of Madden, where it introduces a new game mode, the new campaign long shot, and more variety of new players to choose from. Help save the world as you play as a U.S. soldier to help defeat the Germans in this historical take on the Call of Duty series.
In today's Cat Chat, Zach Miller and Andrew Nagy asked students what they would do if they were invisible for a day.
Get out of school.
If I was invisible for a day, I'd probably prank people and scare them.
If I could be invisible for a day, I would probably trip people without them noticing.
If I was invisible for a day, I would probably make people think that they're going insane.
Probably sneak into the school elevator.
If I were to be invisible for a day, I would probably steal my friend's lunch.
If I were invisible for a day, I'd probably solve world hunger.
If I was invisible, I would stay in one class for the entire day.
If we were invisible, we would skip school.
Skateboarding is a cool way to spend your time. Chase Wileski had some advice for students interested in trying out the sport.
When I walk through the halls, I see a lot of you wearing Thrasher and Vans merchandise, and I know you don't all skate. But don't fret, there is still hope for you, and I'm going to tell you how. 1. Get a skateboard. I skate a Revive skateboard, Thunder trucks, and Force wheels. I recommend a Revive deck. They have parked cars on them, and they have not snapped. The graphics look really good, and they are pretty cheap, costing around $38. You can get one for yourself at theshredquarters.com, as well as anything else you need for skateboarding. 2. Learn some tricks. There's a list of tricks beginners should learn. The ollie, the shove it, the kick flip, and the heel flip are all very good beginner tricks. If you want a guide to these tricks, you should watch Braille Skateboarding on YouTube. That is where a lot of my friends and I started. While Thrasher is a really awesome magazine with lots of talented people, there are more brands to wear and represent. PSA, don't wear Thrasher if you don't skate. People in the skateboarding community frown upon this, so it's a good idea to get comfortable on a board before you rep Thrasher. Have fun skating.
Just in time for the Thanksgiving holiday, we polled students and staff and asked them if they prefer pumpkin or apple pie. Here are the results.
Apple pie.
Apple pie.
A slice of each, please.
Absolutely apple pie, all the way.
I prefer pumpkin pie. Now this is a message to Braden, Vote, Jack, Beddick, and Kyle Brewer. Pie.
We go now to Evan Boyette with This Day in History.
In 1966, troops were scheduled to be pulled out of Vietnam. In 1970, Soviet Union's moon rover successfully landed on the moon. In 1973, Richard Nixon gave a televised speech in which he said, "I am not a crook," referring to his involvement in the Watergate scandal. In 2003, Arnold Schwarzenegger was elected the governor of California.
As we take time to reflect on this day in history, Luke Robinson and Joe Kozich ask students if they would rather live for a week in the past or a week in the future.
I would rather live a week in the past to watch the '96 Bulls play.
I would probably go back to the year that Mr. Fenton was born, so I could see how, America was founded and stuff like that.
I would want to go to the 22nd century so I can experience what it would be like.
We would go to the future.
We're going to hang out with Marty McFly. We already have our hoverboards and vests ready to roll.
The past, because it'd be pretty cool to see what it was like back then.
I'd probably just live in the future because I would just want to see what it was like and then come back and tell everybody what the future's like.
I'll go back in the past so I can create Apple and be a billionaire.
I would go back in time to see the presidents.
I would go to the future because I'd see what events would be like before everybody else would know.
I would go to the past
to see rewatch the Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots Super Bowl to change the play.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Wildcat Insider. We will see you next week for our Thanksgiving episode.